Hello everybody, welcome back to Oval Window Racing. Today we're in Oval Window Garage again still, and we are making progress with Simon. I finally got him on the road, got about 50 miles in him, and he's of course back up on jack stands again. Doing an oil change basically. Trying to track down a few little tiny leaks I have, and taking the brake-in fluid out of them. And I'm trying something here new, and I'm going to show you guys. One of the things I've had problems with is leaky valve covers. I'd like to run those big, beautiful Bug Pack Racing valve covers over there, but they leak even more. And basically it's these, I guess, a common problem with the CB Performance heads. These weren't leaking too bad, and I didn't use a really good gasket, I don't think. Everybody recommends like an Erling, I'm not sure really how to pronounce it, but a gasket. And I'm trying something new, and that's greasing it up. I've seen some other guy talk about these quart gaskets where they need to like soak up a little bit of oil before they'll seal well, and I guess it makes sense. That's how wine works. Your wine bottles use cork bottle caps, and they basically work by soaking up some wine and making the seal. I did go through and wire brush these really good because I'm bad at cleaning stuff like that, and kind of reworked the rim a little bit. I think this one I kind of widened the lip out a little bit. This one over here I don't think I did that on, and well, if this one works, I'll go back and do it with this one. I did go in and kind of pound in the cover to make it fit a little better. I trial fitted it a couple times, and I think it's going to work. If not, yeah, we'll be trying something else. One thing I am interested in is I've seen they got like I want to call it like not a polyurethane. Maybe there's a polyurethane seal, a valve cover seal. I see a few people sell them. If you guys had good luck with them, please leave a comment down below and let me know how they work. And I guess since I've got you here, I'd like to invite you to subscribe and like this video if you like it. Well, I hope I'm finding one of my leaks. I had replaced my axle boots when I had transmission apart. Replaced the 15-plus-year-old axle boots that didn't leak that bad with ones that look like this. This is one I've had lying around, and I can tell just by looking at this is a lot better quality than the ones that I put on. The hardware's a lot nicer. Speaking of hardware, I'm hoping I might have found my leak. This is the cheap-ass hose clamps that came with that thing, and I just so happened to save the ones I took off. These are like the ones that I took off. These are a much nicer hose clamp. I think these were like a Bug Pack. Don't lose that because I'm probably going to need it for the other side. But look, this darn thing even came apart. I had, tried to fix the leak by tightening these a little bit more, and yeah, they just weren't up to the task. You can see how this one just wanted to curly cue the other way. So I'm hoping that the hose clamps, the good ones, or the better ones, work. Otherwise, I'm going to have to crawl back underneath there and put this one that I've been kicking around in my bucket for, well, probably the last 10 years. I don't remember who that gave that to me. It might have been a nice guy called Chip Chase. All right, now we got everything underneath the car hopefully wrapped up. We'll know after another test drive, but it's time to actually lubricate the engine. And you guys probably know, I've been running this Driven racing oil for a couple years now. Now, I'm not here to tell you what oil to run, and I'm not here to tell you what oil not to run. But I will advocate that you must run oil. It's kind of what I've always said for years on all the oil debates. I've always pretty much run a Penn grade oil, or Brad Penn, what it was called there for a while back. Mainly because that's what my machinist last parts supplier sold was the Penn grade, and I had good luck with it. But a couple years back when I started the whole drag and drive stuff, Driven had actually asked me if I wanted to try their stuff, and I said, sure, why not? You know what I have here is their GP1. I'm running a 2050 weight. I've always pretty much been an advocate of running straight 30, but at the time they really didn't quite have a good selection of straight weight oils, but I'm pretty sure they do now. I'd like to give a big shout out to the oil guru over there, Bill. Bill was the guy that I had talked to, and I see him at pretty much all the Dragon drives. He is the Driven's oil guy, and Bill is also actually a classic Volkswagen guy. He's got a real nice oval window. Well, I believe it was a show car at first, but he's been working on it and been slowly putting an engine together. And I'll see if I can find some pictures when I toured Driven Racing Oil and got pictures of his car. But this is a premium Pennsylvania grade crude base oil, and it is, I believe it's semi-synthetic. Is it saying here? Yeah, it is a synthetic blend. It's not full synthetic and it's not full dinosaur, but it's a synthetic blend. And of course, it's got your high concentrate of ZDDP. And if you flip over the back of the oil, there is not a stamp of disapproval on here. You know, it's nice since Bill is a Volkswagen guy, he has and is kind of catering to the air-cooled world, trying to come up with a good blend. And if you'll drop over to their website, you will see that they offer oil change kits for Volkswagens. You can purchase everything you need to do a oil change on your classic Volkswagen, whether you're running the stock screen. I believe they have the stock screens. I've never personally ordered one, but I've seen them pictured on their website. Or if you like the good old Wix Racing, they do offer these too. And just in case you're running one of those screw-on ones and want to know what the number is, it's the 5155 in R for racing. But yeah, let's get some oil in this thing, and then we'll see if we can get another start on it. And I'm still working on that, working on the tune. Since I got the new cam in there, there are a couple little changes on there, and I'm actually trying to do the flex fuel in the tuner software a little bit differently. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, I got the valve covers back on after doing a valve lash. And I'll tell you, I don't do valve lash at 0 anymore. I know they say with the chromoly push rods and chromoly head studs that a lot of people recommend setting 0 lash. When 0 lash, if you don't understand what I mean by 0 lash, it means they kind of tighten the adjuster down so you can just move the push rod. The push rod just should spin freely. And they basically are calling that 0 lash. When I broke the cam in, of course I didn't want to do that. I had it lash set at 6, and I put about 50 miles on the car. And so it was time to set the lash again, do an oil change here, and this time I set them at a tight 3. So basically I can stick a 3,000 feeler gauge and it slides tightly through where the lash cap is and the rocker arm. And a 5,000 feeler gauge won't fit through. Tell you the reason I'm doing this, is basically because I've noticed when I've gone back to do maintenance and do valve lashes that they were tight, tighter than 0 lash, especially on the exhaust valves. That's not a good thing. I'm not saying that once the car warms up that the lash comes back, but I didn't want to risk it. Not after just getting a fresh valve job done here this winter. The reason I basically pick a 3,000ths because that's the smallest feeler gauge I had on that bank of feeler gauges. I may have another set someplace where there's a 1 and a 2,000ths, and if I find them, they're probably in my Dragon Drive box, but I'll probably set them closer to 2. Do this without making a mess. I really do need to find a different funnel. Or I thought about shortening this funnel. Yeah, but once we get this full of oil, I should probably check it. This is basically 2 quarts plus a little bit left in that other one. And then we'll see if we can make fire. Vroom, vroom. Ooh. Crawling over the roll bar. One of the other things I did, I think I mentioned earlier, is I'm doing the flex fuel a little different. I'm still trying to figure that out, but basically what I was doing before, just kind of had one little area in there. You just told it to flex fuel, and when there's so much percentage of ethanol, you the computer is supposed to add. The way I'm doing it now is there's another more advanced way in Tuner Studio. I'm not really strong on I'm not really strong on Tuner Studio, but the other option is to actually set up table 1 and table 2. And what's nice is also you can do Spark table 1 and table 2, and the computer then will blend what you did with those. So I've been kind of working at getting a base table 1, which is basically regular gasoline, and soon, once I get a few more miles on this and the tank down closer to EMA, actually take all the fuel out and just put E85 in there, I'll set table 2 up for that. Now what I'm seeing in there is you can actually fine tune like the cold start, warm up start, and warm up enrichment area with I believe with the ignition too, and that's kind of what I'm hoping I can actually find a way of doing that with the regular gas too. Since I haven't got the IAC valve working yet, I'm still using the foot. It'd be kind of nice when a car's warming up, they have a little more advance in the ignition, and then have it go down to a normal one when it's warmed up. So yeah, there's that. There's always something to learn, like maybe putting the right code in. Okay, we'll pay attention to the oil pressure here. I had full dipstick back here, but I'm sure as soon as I start it up, it's going to go down, and I'll have to add a little bit more. But yeah, I made a couple small corrections in here, but I got to dig into that. But yeah, two sensors getting hot. We're still on the jack stand, so let's see if we can make some noise. But that's probably good enough for now. And I'm gonna have to turn the tablet back on and tell the tablet, hey, I made changes. But yeah, I got to get the tires back on and car off the jack stands, and then we can go for a road trip. But I'll probably do that leave that for a different video. And one thing, catch back to we'll go back to the warm up thing with the throttle. I'm trying to get it so when the car is good and warm, that the idle's under 1,000 RPM. So generally, what I've always kind of done is had idle about 1,200. And then when the car gets hot, sometimes it's more like 1,400. That's kind of a lot when you're sitting in traffic. But when I bring it back down to where it's under 1,000, it's really hard to start up when it's cold to get it to idle when it's cold. But Yeah, I'm hoping to find some ways in the tuner studio to get around that, and like definitely the IAC valve would help, because then I won't have to keep my foot on the throttle. It'd be nice to just come in, hit the key, and have it fire up. But yeah, things are coming around. Like I said, I've got a few miles on the car. We'll be going to Sick Michigan miles here in about 3 weeks. And car's got to be good for about 900 miles and about 5 hits at the drag strip. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, until next time, keep cruising, keep shifting those gears. Always enjoy the ride. We'll see you.